Here are two streamers. One of these has hundreds of average viewers. The other one has less than 3. Which one do you think is which? Let me know in the comments. You thought it was this one? Nope. And here's why.
Actually, I haven't seen you guys since I announced the changes last week.
You know what I mean? So it's going to go really vertical really quickly.
Look, 80% of your stream quality is decided by audio, and your microphone is the biggest part of that. One of the most common mistakes that I see that even partnered streamers still make is that they are here and their microphone is, well, it might as well be on the other side of the planet. There is a reason I have my microphone so close to myself, and it is because when the microphone is close, it sounds really good. And when the microphone is far away, it sounds like... So what most audio engineers say is that the best place for a microphone is as close to your mouth as possible. There's a very simple rule for this. Lift your hand and spread your fingers like this. Then place your thumb against the tip of your chin. Your microphone should touch your pinky. And if you don't have an arm like I have, I honestly think that should be your first purchase for your stream. They are only $20 or $25 on Amazon, and they improve your audio quality by a mile and then some. The problem with microphones like the Blue Yeti, which have a built-in desk stand, or using one of these, is that your microphone is often closer to your keyboard than it is to your mouth, which makes eliminating those noises later very difficult. And even if you're able to remove those sounds, every tap, every bump, every can be heard on stream because it resonates through the stand. So get yourself a mic arm. Trust me, you'll be glad you did later. Now for the second most common problem, and this is one of the problems that I had when I just started streaming. I knew very little about microphones, but I've learned over time. And that is where your microphone is addressed. Some microphones are top addressed, which means that when you talk into them, you talk into the top. But there are also microphones that are side addressed, meaning that the microphone capsule is aimed out the side and listens from here. If you talk into the wrong side of your microphone, that is going to sound terrible. So if you don't know what direction your mic is addressed from, then make sure to test this. And to do this, we are going to have to set it up in OBS. Once you've opened your OBS, the first thing we are going to do is make sure you have the right microphone selected. Open the settings and head into the audio tab. For the mic auxiliary audio, pick the microphone that you are currently using. For me, that is the DLZ Creator 1.2, that's the one I'm using. Now talk into your microphone and watch the bar jumping up and down. On that bar, click the hamburger menu and open the Advanced Audio Properties. Set your mic aux monitoring to monitor only, which means only you can hear it now, not the stream. If you are not able to hear it, open up your settings again, go into audio and scroll down to advanced. Set your monitoring device to your headphones and then move around the microphone and talk into it a bit. You will hear when you are addressing it from the right side and once you've hit the sweet spot. Trust me. Now that we have the mic sweet spot and we have the microphone set up in OBS, it is time for us to play with the settings and filters available. Most microphones or audio interfaces like the Go XLR have a button where you can adjust the gain. For some reason, microphone manufacturers love putting this on the front of the microphone, but for some microphones it's on the back. If you have one, have a look at the bar in your OBS and talk it to your microphone. We are going to set up your gain in such a way that it hits minus 15 decibel mark using only your gain button. If your microphone doesn't have a gain button, then you will need to change it in your Windows settings. Open the sound settings and find your input. Click on device properties and drag the volume down until you hit approximately minus 15. And now that you have your gain controlled, you never need to change that again. So that's done and dusted forever. Next, it's filter time. So open the hamburger menu again and click on filters. The first filter we are going to add is not to deal with your voice. It is to deal with everything else. All the noise, the keyboard clicky clacking, your little sister in the background, air conditioning noises, whatever it is, we're gonna deal with it. And there are two ways to do that: noise suppression and noise gates. If you are in a place that is very noisy, then you will want a noise gate to block all the sound when you are not talking. but generally speaking, what we will want is noise suppression, which has really improved in the last few years. To set up your noise gate, look at the microphone bar and don't say anything, and read off the decibel level that is going on. Well, in my case, it's 0. Now add a noise gate and set the close threshold to a little bit above that level. So if you read -40, then set your close threshold to -36. Since we have set it so that when you talk you are around -15 decibels, we can set it to open around -20 to -25, and that should be done. If you are using noise suppression, simply add the filter and leave it on RNN noise. Or set it to NVIDIA noise removal if that is available to you and you want to use that. Now that our voice can actually be heard, let's make it sound a little bit better with an equalizer. Now this is going to be a little bit up to you, because each voice sounds different and we want to adjust for different sounds. Especially between men and women, it can be a significant difference in how you set each of your bands. But have a look at this image. You can see that the highs adjust your T's and S's and what is called crispness. The mids adjust the sound of your voice, that which gives you presence, but also can make it sound a little bit nasal. The lows adjust your bass, giving you more body and presence. For me, I found that the best spot is about a 2 dB boost on my bass, and then 1.5 minus on my mids, while my highs get a 1 dB boost. Finally, we are going to add a compressor and a limiter to make sure that your audio stays nice to listen to, even if you whisper or scream. The compressor is going to take the loud peaks and make them quieter, and take the lower volume and push it up. Let's add that one first. Set the ratio to 4:1 and set the threshold to -20 dB, but play around with this a little bit. Some people will prefer it a little more compressed towards the -25, especially if you scream a lot. Looking at you, fellow horror streamers. Once you get that set up, we are going to look at the bar again, because when we talk now you can see that the volume has gone down a bit. This is completely normal, but we are going to have to make up for that. So set your output gain so that your microphone hits that -15 dB sweet spot again. Then the last thing we are going to do is add a limiter. The limiter mainly exists because we don't want you to peak. We don't want you to go and blast the ears of your viewers. So we're just going to set it to -3 or -4 decibels. And for the final result, this is how it sounds now. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet to stay up to date on everything that we do. And this was it before. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet and stay up to date on everything that we do. You are now able to stream with a much better audio quality, allowing you to work on growing your channel with confidence. Because often you don't even know what helps you grow your channel and your career. And when you don't see growth for a while, that can really hit that confidence level. Luckily, there are things that are proven to work to grow your channel and your confidence, and I have a video about that right here, so check it out to continue your creator journey, and as always, stream better, stream smart.